guys, so this is what I'm going to teach you guys today, straight across bangs. And I know I've been putting this off for a long time and a lot of you guys have been wanting to see how I cut my straight across bangs. I used to have an old video on this, but the editing and the video was just horrible quality, so I wanted to redo it. And I love my bangs when they're straight across, so I really wanted to do them again. So I'm just going to teach you guys how to cut your bangs straight across, and I'm also going to kind of go over how I cut my bangs when they're long, because a lot of people wonder how I get my bangs cut or whatever. So before I cut my bangs like this, I'm going to show you guys how I cut my bangs when they're long and kind of how they're placed and stuff like that. So I hope you guys find this helpful. If you want to see how to cut your bangs, just keep watching. Bye! Alright, so a lot of people want to know how I cut my bangs when they're long like this, because this is kind of how my bangs have been in my last videos. And basically what it is it's grown out straight across bangs, because as you guys know, I usually go from like short bangs to long bangs, and once they get too long, then I'll cut them short again. So basically what they are straight across bangs, but just grown out. So if I put them like this, as you can tell, they're just cut bluntly across, and they go to about the tip of my nose when I pull it down straight. So if you like my bangs, that's kind of how they're cut for the side bangs. And they're pretty thick too. They start all the way back here, so I would say about 1.5 inches back. So they're fairly thick. A lot of mistakes people make is they don't make their bangs thick enough, and so what they do is they separate and they get like oily and stuff. If you make them a little bit thicker, they tend to like stay clumped together a little bit better, and they don't like separate and get all like stringy. So yeah, basically they're just, like I said, cut straight across, and they're about like the tip of my nose. But I'm going to show you guys how to cut straight across bangs today, because I want my straight across bangs back, because I love my bangs just cut bluntly and straight across. I just think it's really cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my bangs forward, and because I have my bangs pretty much figured out like where they are, I don't really need to part it, but you want to make sure your part is like fairly straight. So just like that. I mean, it's not perfectly straight, but it's close enough for me. And I'm just going to pin it back right here in the back. And what you kind of want to do, as you can tell, the outsides of my bangs are a little bit longer than the inside of my bangs. And I kind of like that effect, especially when they're straight across, because they just look like they frame your face a little bit better. So what you're going to do is take all your bangs forward, just like this. And this is kind of a long process. Like, it takes a while because you don't just cut just straight across like this. You actually cut up and into it like this. And it kind of gives it more of like a textured effect, so it's not just like blunt across. When you have more of a textured effect, it looks a lot better. And I am using my horrible crappy scissors today because I cannot find my other ones. So this might not work really well, but these are just going to have to do. I don't know where my other ones are. So what I'm going to do is you're just going to start slowly cutting up into them like this. Of course, the first few snips you can cut a decent amount off because you're obviously going a lot shorter. Just like that. So as you can tell, I was cutting upwards at like a vertical angle instead of horizontal. And then I just push them down like that. And as you can tell, they're pretty close to the length I'm wanting. They're a little long for me. So as you can tell, they're just a little bit long. And as you can tell, like when you bring these forward like this, you're slightly over directing these side pieces. So these side pieces are actually being brought in more, which is called over directing, and so they're automatically going to be a little bit longer than this middle part, because this middle part isn't being over directed. These are being brought inwards. So you don't really have to think too much about making the outside longer, you know, because it kind of does it automatically when you bring the bangs forward. So now that you have them kind of at, you know, pretty close length, now you're just going to take smaller pieces and just kind of keep doing the same thing. And you just want to take a little bit by a little bit and just kind of like measure them, see how short they are. If you want them shorter, just take a little bit more, but you never want to cut like this. You always want to cut up into your bangs. And just so you guys know, I have a towel on my lap, and all the hair is falling into my lap, like onto the towel. Alright, so as you can see, it's getting a little bit shorter. Now I have a cowlick on this side, so it automatically kind of sticks up a little bit. So I kind of have to cut this side a little bit shorter because this just automatically kind of poofs up more, so it makes it look shorter. So usually I have to texturize this side out a little bit more due to my cowlick. So it kind of depends on your hair growth and things like that when it comes to cutting your bangs. Alright, so that is about the length that I want them. I don't want them to be too short because I don't like when my bangs are too short, but I'm going to have to go a little bit shorter on this side. Just because, like I said, the cowlick kind of messes it up. So there you go. It's really simple, and going up like that, as you can tell, gives it more texture, so it's not like a blunt cut. Now if you want it even more texture, just take your bangs, put them in like a vertical section like this, so basically you're bringing them up and forward, and then you're just going to texturize them out this way. So you're going to chop in vertical like we were doing, but it's just going to be this way instead. So just going to do that a little bit, and that's going to help texturize them a lot more too. So as you can tell, they kind of naturally go a little bit like this because, as I said, we over directed them in like this, and so it's automatically going to kind of give them a little bit of an arch shape, which I like. So now we're going to take this down. And if you want to, you can take your scissors, start in like the middle part of your bangs, and just like really lightly kind of drag it down. And that's going to be another way to texturize if you want them to be really piecey. I'm doing this in my like viewfinder, so it's like really hard. Alright, so there you go. There is how you get straight across bangs. Now I have it all over my lip gloss, which is really wonderful. Alright, just like that. And usually when I do straight across bangs, I part my hair in the middle, just because it's easier to do when you have straight across bangs. Alright, so that is it. And a lot of people ask me how I style my bangs. I usually just take like some hairspray and just kind of spray my bangs lightly and just kind of run my fingers through them like this. And that kind of gives them like that piecey effect, which I like. But it's just like a really light spray, and then you just kind of like toss them in your fingers. And it gives it a really nice like piecey look. So there is my straight across bangs. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know I've been putting this off forever, but I've been wanting to do my bangs like this again. So let me know if you guys have any questions. You can get like shears like this at like Sally's Beauty Supply for like super cheap. I think you can even get them at like drugstores sometimes. So if you're in the market for some hair cutting scissors, you can get them at like Sally's. And that's pretty much it. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to check out KaraAmley.com for just some, you know, other information on makeup and fashion and all that kind of thing. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.